Argentina bodies of 600 disappeared wait to be identified. Buenos Aires, Argentina. Bonnie and Daniel Lodell walked into a mausoleum with an urn holding the bone remains of their sister Isabel, who had been unidentified for 4 decades after being forcibly disappeared during Argentina's military dictatorship. Delivering the simple wooden box was the last step of an arduous identification process that they hope will bring the family closure and, at the same time, thwart the goal of the military regime that human rights groups estimate killed or disappeared 30,000 people while seeking to make its victims invisible. The Remembrance, Truth, and Justice Mausoleum for the Victims of State-Sponsored Terrorism is at a cemetery in La Plata, a town about 35 miles (58 kilometers) from Argentina's capital of Buenos Aires. It holds the remains. The remains are a few of those identified by the Argentine Forensic Anthropology Team, an independent group of scientists who developed their expertise identifying victims of the 1976-1983 military junta and have since helped unravel human rights atrocities in more than 50 countries. Friends and family of Isabel Lodell recently gathered at the mausoleum to say goodbye to Isabel, whose remains were identified only last year. She has now rejoined. The Argentine Forensic Anthropology Team has been working since 1984, a year after Argentina's return to democracy. It has recovered the genetic profiles of the approximately 600 remains that are unidentified don't match any of the samples in the team's database. So the process not only gives a name to the invisible, it also reconstructs what you. Still, Bonnie said, she has only vague memories of her much older sister, Isabel. Blood samples given by Daniel Lodell and his father, Eduardo Lodell, let the forensic team identify Isabel's remains, which had been recovered in 2010 from an unmarked grave in a cemetery in Buenos Aires province. The analysis Giving blood samples to identify a loved one who died in violent circumstances is a delicate psychological process that can bring back haunting memories. Juan Carlos Ferreira, a member of the Montoneros guerrilla group, was identified under a forensic team initiative in 2009 thanks to a blood sample given by his daughter, Angela. But coming to grip just. Her father was kidnapped by dictatorship agents on April 7, 1976, when Angela was 3 years old. For long, Luis Fontbrider, executive director and founding member of the team, highlighted the importance of the new campaign. The team works in the former Naval Mechanics School, which was a notorious clandestine detention and torture center that held an estimated 5,000 prisoners and is now a museum for remembrance. Fontbrider said identifying bodies gets parents. Associated Press video journalist Leo Lavallee contributed to this report.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up in the park.